etc.
Okay, so here I'll explain the famous people related to Romanticism and Romanticism's role to the 19th century. There are quite a few Romantic writers, so I'll start with Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Romanticism can be traced back to the time of Rousseau and his book Emily. He proposed an educational program where the education is derived from the nature around them instead of memorizing the facts. An earlier writer from the 19th century was Wolfgang von Goethe, who wrote Faust. In Faust, a man sells his soul to the devil in order to achieve his want of worldly success and to know the hidden mysteries of the world. William Wordsworth was a writer who wrote Tables Turned. He believed that man can learn from nature by opening their hearts and not their mind. He also wrote lyrical ballads jointly with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, which rejected classical poetic forms. Charles Dickens, a British writer, wrote works such as Oliver Twist, David Copperfield, Hard Times, and Bleak House. His works also bleed into realism, which I won't cover. Okay, so there are pictures of Grimm brothers, but this iPad won't let me do that, so I'm just gonna keep going. So the Grimm brothers, during the rise of the Romanticism, revived old folk tales such as Cinderella, Rumpelstiltskin, and The Frog Prince. Now, Cinderella you may recognize, as Disney, but please keep in mind that the Grimm brothers did not go Disney. Disney was very, sparkly and happy ending. These guys were very gory and, not everything's happy. So please keep that in mind. Okay, so once again, I'm being a little bit restricted on this iPad, so again, no picture of Victor Hugo. Please look it up yourself. He's a very beautiful man. So he wrote Les Miserables, and he also wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which created a popular image of the Middle Ages. With Les Miserables, he also created the popular image of, the suffering of France. Goya painted the oil painting, the 3rd of May, 1808. Eugene Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People shows the events of the French Revolution on the streets. As you can see, this is also very gory and very, I should have censored this kind of feeling. That makes me feel so much better because I feel like I would get marked off. Ludwig van Beethoven broke from earlier classical forms of composition. He did unheard things like putting a vocal soloist towards the end of the final movement of a piece. Richard Wagner wrote The Ring of Nibelung. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Okay, in a crowded room. Okay, so Romanticism played a fairly important role in the 19th century. Romantic writers studied the past in order to write their works. In the process, they helped make readers aware of their common heritage of their nationality. That also sparked nationalism. Keep that in mind. It influenced religion, art, music, and philosophy. It also inspired the desire for freedom, thought, feeling, and action.